What is up, my YouTube brethren? It's your boy Cooked, back at it again with another YouTube banger. So this is the first video I'm going to be doing in a little bit of an ongoing series. Just going to be some, shall we call it, speed secrets. Some things that I've learned along the way and want to share with others in the sim racing and just general racing community. The technique, we'll call it, that I'm talking about today, I call looking into a corner. You've probably heard of it before, but do you really understand it? Have you conceptualized what it means to look into a corner? I hadn't for a long time. I've been skating for a decade and iRacing for almost 2 years, and I haven't been employing this technique, and if I have been, it's been purely subconscious. Consciously defining this technique that I'm going to go into detail with, give some examples in this video. By the way, this technique, looking into a corner, it involves neck movement, and unfortunately, this isn't going to work for single monitor races. So, to my controller brethren, to my single monitor budget gamers, I'm sorry bros, come back in the next speed secret video. This one is for VR enthusiasts and people with beefy triple monitor setups where they have the freedom to look around. But don't get me started on FOV calculators. That's a completely different video. And if you've got a triple setup and you don't know what an FOV calculator is, oh my god, you toss that one into Google real quick. Anyway, so we're going to do some laps around this track here. This is St. Petersburg. I believe it's a track somewhere in America, pretty new to the iRacing roster. It's a street circuit. It's pretty tight, tough to navigate, but it's fun. And this is a track I've been learning over the last week. I have a good mental map of the track in my mind, and I feel like I'm comfortable on this track, and I'm very comfortable in this car, the Ferrari 296 GT3. This is going to be a prerequisite to using this technique, is you're going to need to be comfortable in the car and the track. And that can vary per driver, per car, per track, per day. But the more comfortable you are in the car and track setup, the more freedom you'll have to play with techniques like this one. Looking at my notes here, and you got the pass-through camera. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. We're going to start off with just a couple laps in iRacing here. I'm going to bring you over to Assetto Corsa so that show that the technique translates there. I'm going to bring you over to Dirt Rally. I'm going to try and make this one quick as possible. Hopefully a 10-minute YouTube banger, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with what I've been doing for the last year and a half, let's call it. I'm always looking straight ahead. I've only really been moving my eyes. They say look at the apex. Understandable, right? I'll enter the corner, I'll kind of move my eyes over to the right there, look at the apex, boom, drive through the corner, okay, I'm looking over there, you know. Turn into the corner, keep, accelerate out straight, brake, turn into the corner. And you might notice I haven't moved my neck barely once. And this is how I've been driving for almost a year and a half. Maybe techniques learned from, muscle memory learned from when I used to drive on a TV, perhaps, but the privilege of VR means I can look around, check out what's going on, get a nice angle on a curb or something. Sorry, apologies if my frame rate isn't the best for this video. This is a nice corner. This is probably the corner that we're going to do the example on. So I'm going to bring us up to pace now. One more lap. I'm going to keep using my old technique of just keeping the head centralized, looking straight ahead, looking at the apex, maybe moving my eyes a little bit, and trying to just focus forward. And then, next lap, we're going to set us a reset point. I'm going to start showing you look into corner technique. This is a technique I can't give myself all the credit. I picked this one up researching, we'll call it researching, reading a book a stock car driver wrote in the 90s. I'm not going to leak the source just yet, but so old technique all the way up until here. I'm going to set a reset point. Oh, hopefully not spin out here. Oh. Okay, this is the corner. I'm already employing the technique a little bit. You see, I'm looking to the right. Alright, but we're going to take it up to speed. Old technique. Old technique. Even there, just like my body was screaming at me to move my neck, but I resisted, and it was really hard for me to gauge out the proper timing to get on the throttle when I had rotated the car enough, when I was at the point of maximum rotation at the apex, ready to throttle out. That was kind of tough to gauge when I couldn't really see into the corner very much. Right? Now, to use the technique of looking into the corner. Ooh. Nice. Let's try that one again. Give another example. So I got pretty exaggerated with that. I had almost like a 45-degree neck angle. But it can really help. It can really help you gauge out the shape of the corner, what your car is currently doing, whether it's meeting the steering angle you're putting in, whether it's starting to understeer, whether it's starting to oversteer. You get that info from... It's almost like this three-step process. If I'm going to try and break it down consciously, braking line is usually straight. You find the apex, you look through the apex, you accelerate out of the corner, and as you accelerate out of the corner, your neck naturally returns to center with the car, which really helps you gauge. Something about that really helps you gauge how the car is slipping. Okay, one more time, full race face. Shot the corner. Spin. Reactively drive through it. Pretty horribly, right? But this technique works in any scenario. Say you've shot the corner, you need to readjust. You need to drive from the situation you're in. One more time. I'm not happy with my technique. Tires are cold, as you can see on the dash, but technique still works regardless. Oh! After this one, I'm going to run you through the track, and I'm going to employ the technique about the whole track. You're going to see the difference. If you go back to the start of the video, I was telling myself not to move my neck. And now you watch this bit where I consciously employ this technique on every corner. Oh, I'm already looking at the corner. accelerate center. I looked into that one a bit too much. Frame rate falling apart, that's okay. Look in, rotate, look out. Oh, oh, oh. This is something that may have come subconsciously to a lot of people. They might be employing it already, right? But the trick to this technique is being very conscious with your head's movements, employing it consciously. And this idea of looking through the apex means always looking ahead a little bit. We're trying to be predictive. We're almost trying to get an eye around the corner. We're trying to imagine in our mind's eye what the shape of the corner is coming. So it helps to be familiar and comfortable with the track, obviously, to be able to do that. But the idea isn't to just look at the apex and then brake and then turn at the apex. It's to look ahead, look through the apex, and as you look at that apex, and bring into mind a visualization of how you're going to get the car there. And your subconscious will take over. You look where you want to go. Like, if I'm entering this corner and I shoot the corner, I don't keep staring straight ahead at the barrier going, the barrier, it's getting closer, it's getting close. Like, no. I will just manifest my car into the barrier. In that scenario, I want to be on the brakes, looking at where I can put the car, and I put it there. It's very hard if you've got a single monitor, let's just say, and all you've got is a mental visualization of the track to rely on. And if you're a single monitor gamer planning to come into triple monitor sim racing or VR sim racing, this is a technique you need to start thinking about consciously, or it could be a deficit to you if you spend the rest of your sim racing career just staring straight ahead like a grandma. This idea, any corner, you can look into it, gauge it out, and then feel how the car rotates as it returns to center. You don't even need the G courses. If you hold your head at that angle as the car slips through the corner, you're going to end up looking like over here.
That lap time was 2:00.3 seconds.
Your neck naturally returns to center point. But anyway, just to wrap this one up, I'm going to pull up some reference pictures to really smack the idea home. Alright, so here, number 1, image on the left. And this is a pretty good corner for it as well. We're entering into this braking zone. It's a big heavy braking zone, right? And we need to be actively visualizing the exit of this corner. We need to not only be looking at the apex of the corner, but we need to be visualizing the shape and curve of the exit as we come into it, so that we can look into it. Remember, you don't need to tilt your head. Tilting your head is never going to help you. You watch even motorcycle drivers. If you watch a moto race, MotoGP race or something, even these guys flying 200-300 k's an hour at like 45 plus degree, 120 degree angles on their bikes, their heads are still straight up, straight parallel. Because these riders realize their subconscious, their eyes, they're sending info to their brain, do it better when their head is lateral, whatever the word is, right? Next supporting image. Looking through the apex. Now this is something that's easy to say, but hard to understand. This diagram really helps, right? And this idea, it's useful, but this idea can be misconstrued. Yeah, you want to look at the apex, but you want to imagine how to get your car through it. Always. You want to be looking as far ahead into the track as possible, visualizing as far ahead as possible. You know, and when you're not comfortable in the car, that might only be a second or two. That might only be the approaching corner. But you need to be setting yourself up for the corners after that corner. And if we look at this diagram, we take this upcoming corner as an example, take it in slow motion. It's pretty simple. I'm looking through the apex. I'm already looking at the next corner. It's not just lock onto apex, lock off apex. That's this idea of even just the apex point might not be the best point of focus. You might be able to cut a little bit more.
Sector 2 time is okay.
I think even I suffer from only looking at the apex, not looking through the apex. Diagram down below. Useful. Take a screenshot. Never gonna see it again. Alright, let me review my notes real quick here. We're pretty much done with the iRacing part of this video. I'm going to bring you guys into Assetto Corsa, pull you into a drift car, and then pull you into Dirt Rally 2. I'm sure you'll wrap up example. And I'm going to do both now, just to really get the point across that this works. This works regardless of sim. This is a racing car technique. This came out of a book written for in real life races, for real cars, for real drivers. Alright, so this isn't just a gimmick. This isn't just a VR gimmick. This is something that could benefit you to conceptualize and learn. I'm going to show you that it works regardless what sim you load up. Alrighty, gang. So here we are. Just a test session in Assetto Corsa, rather. Nice drift car here. A nice little custom drift track. Now you might be asking, why a drift car? Well, it's going to be a really good demonstration of this look ahead technique, look through the apex. When you're drifting the car in a state of extreme oversteer, you've really got to do a lot of aggressive turning of your neck. And real life drifters and sim drifters really get this. A lot of them subconsciously, subconsciously. But I'm gonna just drive around, do some drifts, and you know, see how I'm moving my neck. Say there's a little barrel in here. I'm gonna do my best. Forgive me, I'm not very good. To whip it around this bitch. Oh, keeping my eyesight on the barrel. It's kind of pumping the throttle. Okay, just switch off. I'm going over here. Oh, I'm going over here now. I'm going around this corner. Oh, shit. Watch out for the wall. Man, my frame rate. Dumping it into neutral there a little bit for some reason. Whoop! Thank God for the handbrake. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. You see, I was doing a lot of head rotation. Let's try and do the same thing, but not move our head. Let's really get the point across. Oh my god. 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 Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh my, oh my, oh my god, what's going on? Oh. It's not very fun. It's not very fun. Long story short. Alright. One more example. One of my favorites. A little game called Dirt Rally 2. This is a fun one. You'll find when you're sliding on the gravel, it's kind of like drifting. Car's in a very extreme state of oversteer in most scenarios. You've got to be constantly managing that with your neck. And, you know, managing your corner entry, exit speeds, etc., etc. But what it really comes down to is this technique of increasing your comfort zone, finding a track that you enjoy. You've got a nice mental visualization of a car that you enjoy and have a nice mental visualization of how it turns. Even if these things are just subconscious, that's okay. It builds, becomes more and more conscious. And then when you've got that comfort as a base, start looking through the corners, start expanding your point of focus. Instead of just the corner coming up, start thinking and looking at the corner ahead of it. 2 corners away. Crazy, right?
4, 3, 2, 1. 50. 2 left long, opens over crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40.
Let's try that again. Good example. Awkward.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50. 2 left long, opens over crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long,
That bridge at?
opens back
She
camber,
is.
40. 5 right, into 4 left long, caution, tightens over bridge. To gravel, 30. 4 right over crest, into 6 left, 80. 6 left long of a jump maybe, slow 30.
So I'm
5
trying
left
to
long,
look over the
4.
paddocks, look through the
Into 5
trees,
right over crest, 30.
look through the fences,
3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens over crest.
get an idea of what's coming up. I head at it,
50. Tarmac, crest, into 4 right.
and the car just follows.
Opens over crest, 30. 2 left tightens, don't cut. Into 2 right. Opens over narrow bridge, 80.
Even when you're not drifting the car, not oversteer
6
sliding
left
and
long,
then
tightens.
cantering
Flat over
motion with your
crest,
neck.
150.
It helps just to maintain a state of grip, to observe
Right
how
long,
much
opens over
grip
crest.
the car currently has,
Into 6 left long over crest.
how much slip
Into
angle
6
you
right
currently
long,
experience.
cut to gravel. And 6 left long, opens over crest, 30. 5 right, into 3 left over crest, don't cut. Into 5 right
Kinda
over
like this.
crest, opens long, 30.
I'll take it pretty horribly,
Right
but
long, tightens
I'm already
4.
trying to prep my head. Prep my head. Get that
30.
neck
Flat middle
rotated,
of a big jump,
look through
80.
the corner.
Small crest,
Remember, you
60.
never
4
have to
right
tilt your
long,
head.
Tightens. Into 4 left,
Don't really have to
opens over
crane it
crest.
either.
Into 4 right, tightens.
Just
Into 5 left long, tightens 2 cut. Opens
get
30.
that point of awareness a bit
6
further
left.
down the track.
Into 4 right long. Into 3 left long, tightens don't cut. Into 4 right long, opens of a small crest, 30. Crest, into 6 left long, tightens. Opens, flat of a crest, 120. 3 right, opens of a crest. Into 6 left, 50. Caution, 2 right tightens. Into 2 left, opens over crest, 80. 6 left over crest long, tightens past junction, continues very long, and caution, tightens 2. 30. 4 right long, opens over crest, very long.
Oh,
Caution slow, 30, 5 left long over crest, tightens 2. Opens 50. 6
alright,
right,
alright, that'll do.
opens 80.
That'll do. We'll wrap that one up here anyway. I'm not feeling too hot. Yeah. You see it? Doing a lot of neck motion. Wonder why. Alright. Well, we'll wrap this one up here. Let me review my notes one more time. You want to look where you want to go. Don't look where your car is going. Look where you want your car to go. Imagine how to get your car there. And the car will follow. Your eyes are 90% of what's going on up there in the old cranium. Seriously. If you're not seeing it, you're not giving it the mental bandwidth. If you're staring at that barrier or pole like it's about to kill you, it's getting closer and closer and closer, and you keep staring. It's a vicious cycle. Manifest your way around that barrier by not paying it mind. Looking further down the track. This idea of looking into a corner and further. Alright. I'll leave you here. Have a good one, guys. Race safe.